U.S. stocks fell on Wednesday, a day after the S&P 500 rose to within 2% of its record high as Wall Street mulled the ramifications of the widely telegraphed monetary policy decision from the Federal Reserve. We'll look at that on today's show, plus I'll have an exclusive interview with Dr. Bassam Damaj, CEO of Innovus Pharmaceuticals. I'll ask Dr. Damaj about their mission to in-license, acquire, and develop over-the-counter and consumer healthcare products designed for in-home treatment of medical conditions and ailments to help people take care of themselves and their families in order to live healthy. Great show in store today. Wide World of Stocks starts right now. Good evening from New York. I'm Damon Roberts. As expected, the U.S. Central Bank announced an end to monthly bond purchases known as quantitative easing that helped fuel stock gains and increased the Fed's balance sheet to a record high. The central bank kept its language on keeping interest rates low for a considerable time as it ended its two-day meeting, but it dropped its significant wording in regards to slack in the U.S. labor market. Facebook shares slid as the social network projected slower revenue growth this quarter and said spending would increase in 2015. CEO Mark Zuckerberg is revealing his 10-year plan for the social media giant and plans to use its success to invest in long-term goals that will make it an even stronger company over the next decade. But that could mean Facebook's expenses will increase up to 70%. Next year, the company plans on making a series of aggressive talent and ad tech investments. And one goal is to have other Facebook-owned companies like Instagram, WhatsApp, and Messenger each connect 1 billion users. In other business news, Orbital Science dropped a day after its unmanned rocket exploded just after taking off for the International Space Station. Alliant Tech Systems Inc. said on Wednesday it was conducting a thorough evaluation of an agreement to merge its space and defense business with Orbital Sciences following the explosion. Hershey declined after the chocolate maker posted third-quarter earnings below estimates and cut its guidance for the full year. And U.S. Steel surged after posting better than estimated quarterly results. Of the 287 companies in the S&P 500 that have reported third-quarter earnings, 75% have beaten estimates. That's better than the 63% of companies that beat in a typical quarter going back to 1994. Visa, the world's largest credit and debit company, reported quarterly earnings that topped Wall Street's estimates on Wednesday, sending shares about 4% higher in after-hours trading. The company reported fiscal fourth-quarter earnings of $2.18 per share on $3.23 billion in revenue, beating forecasts for earnings of $2.10 a share on $3.91 billion in revenue. Visa also said its board approved a $5 billion stock buyback program. Last week, the global payments provider said it would increase its quarterly dividend to 48 cents per share on December 2nd for eligible Class A shareholders. Visa, along with other major credit card providers, recently teamed up with Apple to launch Apple Pay, a new mobile payments platform. Visa has made big efforts to adopt technologies like chip cards and digital account numbers or tokens in place of payment account data in an attempt to enhance security. The adoption of chip technology has the potential to virtually eliminate counterfeit fraud when widely adopted and will help consumers feel more confident about using their payment cards, the company said in a statement earlier this month. You know, the stocks of many solid biotech firms traveled a rocky road during the first half of 2014. Is now a good time for investors to return to the life sciences? The biotech sector tends to follow the movements of the stock market as a whole with a bit more volatility. 2013 returns were very strong. When we get back, I'll have an exclusive interview with the CEO of Innovus Pharmaceuticals, a fully reporting OTC QB company trading under ticker symbol INNV. You don't want to miss this exciting interview, and it's next when we get back on Wide World of Stocks. All right, welcome back to the show. Innovus Pharmaceutical, headquartered in California, is an emerging pharmaceuticals company that delivers innovative and uniquely presented and packaged health solutions through its over-the-counter medicines and consumer and health products. Innovus's pharma mission is to in-license, acquire, develop over-the-counter and consumer healthcare products designed for in-home treatment of medical conditions and ailments to help people take care of themselves and their families in order to live healthy lives. Dr. Bassam Damaj was appointed to serve as President and Chief Executive Officer in January 2013, and he joins us on the show now. Dr. Damaj, welcome to the show. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. Happy to be on the show.
Thank you very much for coming on. Give the people a little bit of your background in the biotech sector.
Happy to do that. Well, I started as an immunology by training, have a clinical fellow in oncology, and did all my life in the biotech and healthcare industry. Started training in Genentech, then moved to Pfizer. From Pfizer, I moved to a company in New Jersey called Pharmacopoeia, which became Ligand, and then moved to Mitsubishi Tanabe, and then actually moved to San Diego, where I became the CEO of a company called Bioquant, mainly, which was the largest CRO for in the West Coast, which I successfully sold to Apricus Biosciences. And then I became the CEO of Apricus Biosciences around 2009, where I took the company from a 37-cent stock to $5.50 stock, got their first product approved, brought in all the blue chip pharma from Novartis and Sandoz, Takeda, Abbott, and so forth. And then in 2013, early 2013, I moved into Innovus, and I became the CEO of the company. So I've spent all my life in the pharmaceutical industry, in the life sciences, and this is something that I enjoy doing all the time.
So you've had an extensive career in the biotech sector. So I was going to ask you some of your accomplishments as a CEO, but you've pretty much laid them out. You know, give me the mission of the company. What is the mission of Innovus right now as a pharmaceutical company, an up-and-coming pharmaceutical company?
Well, the mission of Innovus really is to provide safe and effective non-prescription and consumer care product to improve lives of patients for women's and men's health. It's very clear what we want to do, what we're in, a very unique niche that the company's in.
I heard you say, I think this is a great quote. I heard you say when you took over the company in 2013, Innovus was almost like a private company, even though it was public. Explain what you meant by that and what excited you at the time about the company when you took it over.
Sure. So when I took over Innovus was really, although it's a public company, but it wasn't really traded. The liquidity was close to zero in the company. There is no movement in the company. Nobody knew about the company. Very insider owned. So it looked more as a private company than a public company. And when I came on board here now, and when I came on board in 2013, it was my goal actually to really transform it back into a public company, grow the company, the market cap. And you can see from now we trade actually a good volume on a daily basis. We have now a lot of products on the market. We're very commercial. We have a lot of partners international. So we really now have transformed the company into a truly public company that the market knows, the market follows. We have our first independent research that was initiated on the company just a month ago with a target price of $1.34. So we're really going and transforming this company into a real public company.
So how many products are currently available? And then a follow-up to that kind of second part is how many more do you anticipate bringing to the market over the next 12 to 18 months? Give me a little bit of pipeline here.
Sure. So currently we have 5 products on the market. The lead product is a product called Zestra, which is for female arousal and desire. It is the only product actually with such clinical trials behind a product to clinically shown that it induces arousal and desire in women. It is currently marketed in the US and Canada, and we announced over the past 2 months actually signing commercial partners in 28 countries. So we're really pushing the sales internationally on this product. We have also eject delay for premature ejaculation. We have a product called Sensum Plus, which is to increase penile sensitivity. We have a product called Vizel, which is a product, an oral proprietary arginine-based product to improve sexual and cognitive functions of men and women. And lastly, we have the only high viscosity water-based lubricant called Zestra Glide. So 5 products on the market currently.
We've talked a little bit about the indications your products target. So let's talk about market. How big are some of these markets that you're targeting?
So before I move to the market, I think it's important to understand that we really, our products and the fields where we're really in large markets. And all the products we in-license and we put on the market are really in large market. And this is very important for us. I give you an example, like Zestra is for the female arousal and desire market. And as you know, the market for female sexual interest, arousal, desire, for example, is a very large market where it is estimated that 43% of women in the US have a sort of sexual disorder, as compared, for example, to 31% of men who have erectile dysfunction. And you know the erectile dysfunction market is about $6 billion market worldwide. So these are very, very big market. Premature ejaculation, which is our second product, which is for eject delay, is thought that 30% of men have premature ejaculation. So that makes it actually a very large market, as it is estimated that in 2017, this market will hit over $1.7 million. So these are large markets that we are targeting, that our products are being commercialized in those markets.
And when you look at the ED drug market, and then you look at your lead product, give me some comparisons when you look at that.
Sure. So the ED market is a very well-known market, which is led by Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, and it is about $6 billion on a worldwide basis. And it is estimated about 30% of men have erectile dysfunction. The Zestra targets a market where it is the female arousal dysfunction market, and it's estimated that 43% of women have this condition, which is actually a much bigger market than the ED market. So this shows you the magnitudes of the market we're targeting.
In doing a lot of research, I think one of the interesting things, and it may seem insignificant to some, but I thought it was not. Tell me about your packaging, because your packaging is very unique in what the customer receives. It's not just receiving the, I don't want to say the drug, but there's a lot more to your packaging than I think what people normally. Tell me about your packaging.
Yes, so the company does a lot of research into the packaging and into how the consumer perceives the packaging, how the consumer wants to have the packaging. I'll give you a very good 2 examples on this one, not just one. So for example, Zestra, our lead product, it's provided not only in a multi-dose dispenser, but we also provide them as single-use packets for people's convenience, that if they are traveling, if they are on the road, they want to put it in their pocket. And the same for eject delay, for example. Although we have a 2-ounce tube that patients can actually buy, but we also prevent it in a single-use packets, also for patients' convenience and for patients, if they want to be discreet about those type of products and how they use them. So we are very, very careful about how we package our products, how we present them, and how we sell them to the market.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit company side. Tell me some strategy for your long-term growth of the company, and then within that, give me a little idea of what your marketing and distribution strategy is going to be within that as well.
Sure. So the marketing, the company, I want to say the company has one main goal, and that goal is to turn to profitability as soon as possible. In order to achieve this goal, there are 2 things that need to happen. First, we need to have the products that generate the revenues. And second, we need to have those products in as many possible countries as possible. And this is what is really the strategy of the company, is to bring in products that are commercially available, where we can grow them not just in the US, but to ex-US, to bring in the revenue and the profitability. To execute on that, and we've been actually executing quite well on this strategy. We have 5 products in the pipeline now, which we acquired. Those products are Zestra, eject delay, Vizel, Sensum, and Zestra Glide. And what we do with those products, we bring them in, we put them in our infrastructure in the US, we push the sales, but we also have signed in partners internationally now in 28 countries. And our goal by the end of 2015 is to have partners in 40 countries. So really, we push the product in the US, we grow the sales in the US, and we grow internationally through our partners who are already present in those countries. So it's really the infrastructure for the US international is present, and all we have to do now is to find right products for the right indication to bring them into the pipeline and push them out to the market. So our strategy long term is to continue looking for products that are in our field, that are revenue generating, and put them in our infrastructure, both in the US and ex-US through our partners.
We're speaking with Dr. Bassam Damaj from Innovus Pharmaceuticals, symbol INNV. We got lots more to do. We're going to bring it back in the next segment. We'll do it next when we get back on Wide World of Stocks. Welcome back to the show. Great show so far today. On the line with us via Skype is Dr. Bassam Damaj. He's the CEO of Innovus Pharmaceuticals, symbol INNV. And Doctor, welcome back to the show. Again, thanks for enlightening us about the company today. One of the things I definitely wanted to ask you about is the company been raising money? If so, how have you found it? How is the company raising money? And how are you positioned from a capital standpoint heading into 2015?
Well, when I came to the company as the president and CEO, actually, I took it upon myself to make sure the company is well funded. So I committed $2.5 million actually to the company in a form of line of credit that was converted to equity, a part of it to equity when I came in. So the company is well funded in that sense, that for what we're doing, for the spending we have, so the company has no ongoing liquidity concerns from our audit. So we're in pretty good standing point in terms of funding. And also what's been beneficial to us, all the commercial partnership we have signed and the commercial products on the market have been generating income to the company. And I believe we'll be announcing our guidance for the third quarter pretty shortly in terms of revenues, as the company has not seen such revenues since it started with those products. So definitely we are well funded for that. For growing, we will be looking for capital, of course, because we are looking to acquire more products to increase our pipeline, to increase the commercial foot in the US for us, and that requires money to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's funny. You mentioned maybe acquiring things. Are there any synergies? Is acquisitions? I mean, I always say public companies go public to either raise money, one, or use your stock as a weapon for acquisitions. Is there anything on the table as far as, is that something that the company could be looking down the line at?
Yes, so we actually have done that in the past. We've used our stock as currency to acquire products and companies. For example, we acquired Sempre Labs in stock and a little bit of cash. We acquired Sensum Plus, the ex-US rights, in stock. So we are actually, we will use our stock as currency again. And of course, being a public company, we would need to raise money. So it's easier to raise money when you're a public company than a private company these days.
Sure. So let's get back to the products. Let's tell everybody where the products are available, retail, online, and then let's talk about how many countries your products are available in right now.
Sure. So in the US, the products are available in a lot of major retailers. Our largest actually retailer is Walmart. So people can find it in the Walmart superstores, for example. It's available at other retailers like Kroger, Mayer, Fred Meyer, Pathmark, Lee's. They're available at many other retailers. Online, extensive online. They're available from drugstore.com, Walgreens, to Target.com, to our website, www.innovuspharma.com. They're available pretty well in everywhere in the US, so people have wide access to our products in here. Outside the US, actually, and as I mentioned before, we have signed in 28 countries, including Canada, Middle East, North Africa, West Africa, the UK, and also other parts of Europe. And we're expanding actually the distribution by 2015 to be in a minimum of 40 countries out there.
I've got about 30 seconds left. So talk to me about some of the competitive advantages of the company moving forward.
So the competitive advantages of the company are really, this is a very unique company in a niche market. This is Innovus is probably one of the few companies, or the only company you will find that has men's and women's health products in one same company that are over-the-counter and consumer care. And this is what makes Innovus a unique company. It has the US infrastructure. It is very unique niche. It has the ex-US infrastructure through the partners. So it makes it a very appealing investment, actually, for the investors out there. And this is why, actually, we believe in Innovus, and I myself believe in Innovus, and I invested my money in the company.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of interesting stuff. Again, people can check you out, of course, on otcmarkets.com. Look at all the companies' filings, at INNV is the symbol. Dr. Damaj, thank you for joining us on the show. That's going to do it for the show today, guys. But we'll be back tomorrow, of course, with more Wide World of Stocks.